When narcissists grip on power slips, this is how they act desperately. There is a common thread running through all of today's topics. When their plans fall through, how far do narcissists usually go? After they have been fully unveiled, you have them exactly where you want them to be. If a narcissist loses control over a family member, what will happen? Before anything else, if you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, I'd greatly appreciate it if you'd subscribe to my channel. It would be best if you kept in mind that this video is not intended to diagnose mental health issues or serve as a replacement for professional aid. Start here. Those who suffer from narcissism have a hard time accepting criticism because of their overwhelming focus on their own feelings and the acceptance of others. As a result of their inability to empathize, they may resort to manipulative actions. Furthermore, let's be sincere here. We've all done something similar, maybe not to the extreme, but close enough. Pathological narcissists, on the other hand, consistently display these characteristics. It describes who they are in their current condition. They have good reason to worry about what will happen if their secret becomes public knowledge, given their vindictive temperament. Narcissists are notoriously unpredictable in terms of their behavior. If you've ever had a relationship with a narcissist or come from a narcissistic background, you can probably guess how they'd react if they felt they'd lost control over you. This is to be expected from a person with a narcissistic personality who places a premium on the approval of others. They can't even begin to understand the world because they don't know who they are. When they don't get the attention and affirmation they want on their own terms, they resort to bullying, threatening, intimidating, and humiliating others into submission, which can be unrealistic. Envy and humiliation are constant companions in their thoughts, and the strangest part is that they frequently engage in unpleasant behaviors to hide these emotions. It's common for cruel people, those who ignore, reject, punish, cheat, mock, etc., to find themselves alone. The inevitable result of narcissists' toxic actions is isolation. That leaves them with few options when they are powerless over another person. They might even make an effort to make amends with you in person. Indeed, they are, though perhaps not in terms of the damage they've done. Mainly, they feel regret because of the consequences they must now confront, namely the loss of a significant source of narcissism. They feel terrible about being left all alone once more. They're embarrassed that their secret has been revealed. Alternatively, you may say something like, "It's not me, it's my anxiousness," before you apologize. It is beyond my control that I am sick. Because of my dependency on this drug, I have lost all control over my behavior. Since you also said something to me years ago that caused me great pain, please accept my apologies. We may skirt that boundary. Whether it's been a day or a week, most people forget their apologies and return to being rude and unrepentant. It's not uncommon for narcissists to revert to their old ways of behaving. Exceptionally gifted narcissists don't struggle to alter their strategy. Rather, they find fresh ways to tackle familiar challenges. It's the same deal, just with a new presentation. A person can pretend to be trying to reason with you instead of apologizing. Imagining this individual adopting the gray rock method of responding to questions with a single word, or the no-contact method of just ceasing to respond to questions, is all it takes. It is standard practice to apologize for past wrongdoings and assure the recipient of one's eternal love by sending a text or email with the line, "I've no idea what I've done to hurt you, but I'll always love you." Expect a lot of mumbling and then a threat like, "I'm going to kill you. In such a scenario, I will be sure to share my impressions of you with others. Nonetheless, I want you to know that the way I feel about you is permanent." If you get such a message, or they apologize, beg, or cry, and you're thinking about giving them another chance, I won't try to talk you out of it, but I suggest you consider how you've learned from past mistakes. They can only say sorry so many times before you stop caring. Perhaps the total wasn't huge, but how many were there? The unpleasant behavior stopped after the apologies were made. Given that this is typical, I don't see any reason to expect anything different this time around. Second, narcissists rarely admit that they were wrong when they've been caught lying. They are unable or unwilling to acknowledge their own deficiencies, misjudgments, blunders, or limitations, and they will not admit these things to you or anyone else. It's more common for there to be numerous unfounded accusations. What you've said or done will be rewritten, and they'll make up stuff you never did or said. Build counter-narratives that cause people to misunderstand you and your goals. If you've been together for a while, your spouse might have mastered the art of manipulation and gaslighting. You may begin to doubt your own sanity if it looks like other people share your belief in them. Those who are covert narcissists may give the impression of humility and repentance to those around them, but their superiority complexes may not be so well veiled. Third, they may attempt to demonstrate their true care for them following a breakup by contacting people they know outside of the relationship. Narcissists place a premium on having complete dominion over their immediate environment, notifying them that they haven't heard from them in a while, expressing concern for their well-being, or mentioning a newfound interest in a topic of interest to them. They'll sign on with the group and instantly bond with everyone else there. They'll try to get in touch with them one-on-one by sending greeting cards, making phone calls, or setting up a dinner date. The narcissist is trying to prove that they are good individuals who should be respected despite how they may initially appear to others. This also has several benefits for the narcissist. To accomplish this, flying monkeys, or the victim's trusted friends and family, must be enlisted to play the role of informant. To discover more about you, narcissists will employ these people to keep tabs on you. In a nutshell, its major goal is to intimidate the victim into submission or maintain control over the victim so they can continue to cause harm. It's a coping mechanism that helps narcissists control how they and others see events. Narcissism is destructive because it eats away at its target from the inside out before resorting to more overt methods of destruction. They will attribute motives to their victims, which is the fourth strategy. Emotional blackmail was a common tactic they used to compel their victims to admit fault for their actions. Some narcissists may try to exploit the loss of a loved one or friend by using their own feelings of guilt, shame, and humiliation. That's quite brave of you. They will do whatever it takes to get the victim to feel sorry for them so they can get what they want, attention and sympathy, at the victim's expense. Their pleading, crying, begging, whining, anger, etc. will not abate until the victim expresses regret for their feelings. I frequently use the expression, "they wet the bed and blamed the blanket," when referring to a situation like this. As for point number 5, they're becoming vindictive and petty. This whole mess seems to be your responsibility. Narcissists believe, at least in their own minds, do not have the audacity to try to read my mind. And you have the audacity to not want to put up with my pranks any longer. To reiterate, narcissists believe everything is about them and that their victims deserve everything they get from them. Sadly, some people have a natural tendency for harmful or aggressive actions. They might propagate false information that causes harm. They might be hiding something from you on purpose. Whatever they believe will restore their dominance over their targets, they should set an example for the people they have wronged. They may attempt to develop a trauma bond if they cannot sustain their deceit, control, or threat in the first place. If a victim of a narcissist has been subjected to this pattern of behavior long enough, they may start to think that it's normal and hence harmless. A victim of emotional abuse may appear to an observer to be fully reliant on the narcissist. They may be emotionally or monetarily reliant. A child is one reason why a couple is more likely to spend time together. Maybe they've come to depend too heavily on their abuser and can't possibly ever leave them. Maybe there's a physical component to the problem, like an illness. If there isn't already a trauma bond between you and the narcissist, they'll work to create one by bringing up horrific experiences they both went through. If one were already present, they would strengthen it in every manner they could to prevent the victim from escaping or acting independently. These behaviors and attitudes are common in narcissists who feel they are losing control over others. There's a lot more to it than that. You can add your thoughts to the conversation by typing them in the space provided below. If you liked this video, you shouldn't miss any of my future uploads by subscribing to my channel and turning on the bell symbol. As always, I appreciate it.